Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again a big warm welcome to everyone tuning in. You've got Signify on the Radiant side and TNC on the Dire. I believe it's going to be a best of one, but I do see the indicators here for a best of three matchup, which is odd. Yeah, like Gambit mentioned, we're completely clueless about what the format's like. We've been told it'll be a best of one, or rather three best of ones for Signify happening through the day today. But, we're just going to go with the flow. For now, you've got Signify opening up with the Shadow Shaman and the Darkseer picks, while the Dire, that is TNC, they'll pick up the Night Stalker and the Nature's Prophet. It's been a while since I've seen TNC in action. I believe the last time I actually got to lay eyes on them was at TI7. And, well, for Signify, on the other hand, we've seen what they like. They love running their Shadow Shaman as their first pick. They've shown a certain amount of discipline when it comes to their playstyle. I think that's the primary reason why they got through the open qualifiers in the first place. But we also know that they've come off of a 8-game losing streak in scrims. So they lost 8 straight games in scrims, and they ended up winning all of their matches in the open qualifiers. So it's been a series of highs and lows for the squad.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that they're starting off the first game of the day against TNC doesn't do them any wonders, because, I mean, for sure TNC are the top team in this qualifiers. There are the likes of Mineski and Clutch Gamers, but TNC are a team who are coming off a high. They just played in TI. They placed decently well, I would say. I mean, they've been the best SEA team by far for a long time now, at least since TI6 at least. So it's definitely going to be an uphill battle for Signify in the game one here.
Yeah, this truly is a test of their mettle. So they're going to go with the Slaughter as their third pick. This is something we saw them run yesterday at a local tournament at the end of the day. It's odd that we're not seeing Ova pick up the Kunkka as his go-to roaming support hero. But I think it's fairly straightforward. There should be X-Drag on the Darkseer in the offlane, no chance on the Shadow Shaman, and Ova on the roaming Slaughter support. On the side of the Dire though, Night Stalker, I assume there's going to be a 4-position Night Stalker, while Nature's Prophet should be in the offlane courtesy Sam H. What's the game plan here for TNC? I mean, the Batrider is still in the pool if they do want to run this as an unconventional Nature's Prophet in a different lane and then play the entire Vision game with the Night Stalker and the Batrider duo. Now, I mean, I don't want to call out this draft as black and white, with the Nature's Prophet running to the offlane. It's always possible that they run a core Nature's Prophet. It's not unheard of in the past to see a 1-position NP as well. But for now, they're going to go with a slightly more recognizable pick here. It's going to be the Dazzle on the 5-position role. A decent bit of synergy coming out versus the Slaughter. I mean, you've got the armor augmentation coming out from the Weave to help deal with the amp damage. You've also got yourself a possible heal bomb with the Nature's Prophet Treants. There's also the fact that Night Stalker and Dazzle as an offensive/defensive duo can put their spells to use to dive towers quite early on in the game. I'm expecting that first night to be crucial for TNC.
Yeah, I also think one more area of interest for us in the match will be the mid lane, where Cuckoo should be going up against Crowley. And both of them are known to be flashy players who tilt a little bit, and exceptionally mechanically gifted players. So that's going to be an area of high contention for both teams, and it'll be interesting to see if one mid laner can get the edge over the other, and then carry on the game from there. But if you look at Signify, the way they're drafting, I think they're just picking up heroes which they're comfortable with rather than go for a set game plan. Because it's hard to go up against such an established team such as TNC with a very specific draft or a very specific game plan, because they're very experienced and they will be able to counter you in terms of in the way they think and in terms of the way they move.
Yep.
So try and play a little bit static, try and play a little bit passive, and take the fights when you want them to. Play your comfort heroes, so you're not, nothing new gets thrown in the way. Seems to be the name of the game for Signify.
Are you a fan of this Void pickup? I mean, I'm not seeing the synergy here. I mean, I get that, you can do the Darkseer Void early on with the Ion Shell inside the Chronosphere. There's also the amp damage to help augment the damage output from the Void, but you've already got a hero like the Dazzle that can stand outside of the Chronosphere and drop a long-range Grave. You've got... I mean, apart from that Ion Shell, I really don't see what the major source of damage is inside that Chronosphere. Towards the mid and late game stages, it's unlikely that a single Chrono is going to be enough to deal with that anti-mage as well once he gets his agility items online, maybe even a heart in this particular game. We'll have to see what Signify chooses to go with as their final pickup on the middle lane. I'd like to see something like an Invoker, maybe even the unconventional Skyrath Mage, but they're not exactly known to pick that hero.
Yeah, I don't think Skyrath Mage has been picked by Signify ever. At least not on the mid lane, for sure. Yeah. I mean, something with a little bit of AoE from the mid lane will do great for Signify. I won't say I'm very disappointed with the Void pick, because it's a hero they've been running quite often, and so the thing is, the hero lacks killing potential in the lane, but with the lockdown that Shadow Shaman and Slardar provide, I think it kind of makes up for it. He should be able to have a pretty decent lane, and I mean, Chronosphere is always there to be able to finish off anti-mage, right? It's one of the better skills too.
Yeah, but that's my point, right? Is the damage output enough within the Chronosphere to finish off the anti-mage, let alone with the Dazzle standing outside to offer protection? It seems...
I think it should.
I don't know. I'm not convinced by this Void pick. But let's see what they go with their last pick. Perhaps, if they throw an Invoker into the mix, I could see some synergy here with the early game pressure that the Chrono and the Sunstrike can bring. It's actually a really good game for an Invoker from what I can tell, because you've got the potential for a Slardar or a Shadow Shaman to go roaming on their own. With the Lockdown and a Sunstrike, they can find pickoffs in some of the squishies, like the Dazzle, and to a certain extent even the Nature's Prophet for the early part of the game. But scratch that, this is the Signify first, at least in the PGL Open Bucharest tournament. They're going to go with the Bloodseeker as their final pickup.
I'm just going to quickly change up some settings.
I believe we saw a Bloodseeker being run against them yesterday. We saw that Bloodseeker Pugna duo, which is clowny, but it did have a fair bit of pushing potential with the Blood Rage and the Netherblast. So there was a bit of a cheese strat coming out from one of their opponents in those BO1s, but learning from their opponents, coming out with a Bloodseeker pick of their own, and suddenly it does seem like they have a fair bit of damage output to deal with that anti-mage. But of course, there's also the fact that Black recently figured out you can use a Manta style to dodge a Rupture, so we might see some of those shenanigans.
You can't dodge the Rupture, you can dodge a little bit, the initial damage from the first blink. That's pretty much it.
Alright, once again, a big warm welcome to everyone that's tuning in. You're watching the PGL Open Bucharest Southeast Asian Regional Qualifiers. If you're looking for details on the format, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to give you too much information about that. We're as clueless as you, but we're going to take it one game at a time. For now, it's TNC Dodo versus Signify Dodo. Signify on the Radiant, TNC on the Dire, and as is customary, we're going to start off with the introductions. Gambit, take it away.
Okay. For the side of who do you want to take? That's my question.
Take your pick, man. I'm good with any.
Okay, I'll go with Signify then. I'll go with my Indian boys. No chance we'll be handling the Shadow Shaman. We have Owa, who's captain and the drafter, who's going to be on the Slardar. On the Bloodseeker is Crowley. Blizzard will be handling the one position Void, and that leaves X-Frag on the Darkseer.
On the other side, you've got Tim's on the Night Stalker. It's going to be Dazzle in the hands of Life 5. What the hell? Why did... I believe that's 1437. It's Cuckoo going to be on the Bark. You're going to have Anti-Mage handled by Raven, and then Sam H is going to be playing that Nature's Prophet on the off lane. For now, it looks like Cuckoo's just going to be taking up a rather defensive position up on the cliff to spot out rotations towards his Bounty Rune, while the rest of TNC are going to be protecting their own Bounty Rune on the top side. But Signify, they've got something going for them here. They're actually going to try and contest this rune with the Void, Shadow Shaman, and the Slardar. Anti-Mage not the best at duking it out at the first few levels. This could
they're actually making a big wraparound.
Here we go. They're going to go for the Bounty Rune. They do get the Shackles off for the Anti-Mage. They have a Crush at the ready as well. Anti-Mage, he's going to cop a fair bit of damage here before blinking away, but no early first blood just yet. Both sides still picking up 2 runes apiece. I believe the Nature's Prophet did walk in and steal the Bounty Rune on the Radiant side of the jungle.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly make a reconnect because my Dota TV is bugging out. I have like mouse cursors and stuff flying all over the screen.
Alright. Crowley at the middle lane, feeling the pressure from Tim's Night Stalker. Cuckoo taking up the first few waves. He's actually pushed in the wave as well, so this is going to make it relatively harder for Crowley to last it under his tower. He was hoping to pick up the Quelling Blade as his first item, but now he's going to be forced to call out some more consumables. I believe the salve should be on its way. Meanwhile, Owa is going to offer some support here as well, doing what Tim's is doing for his own opponents, for his own allies, sorry. But no real harm done. Crowley with the Blood Rage, able to lap up some creeps and get himself some HP once again. No chance. Meanwhile, going to be staying up top with Blizzard. This is an offensive dual lane of sorts, which means that it's going to be Sam H versus Extract. Actually, Sam H versus Raven in a mano on this bottom lane. Guess we're going to see those early points and spell shield coming out from the anti-mage to help them deal with those ion shells. But Cuckoo's gone in here. Crowley cops a fair bit of damage, pops the ion shell while Cuckoo takes a beating over. He actually went for a creep kill instead of an additional auto attack on Cuckoo. Just being efficient then, knowing that Cuckoo's going to salve up anyway. Might as well get the creeps while you're still in the lane. Well, Tim's is going to walk into Ova on the side here. They're going to be duking it out while Crowley tries to get some CS under his own tower. This middle lane is turning into quite a contest as No Chance comes to the party as well. A few auto attacks followed up by a shackle, a crush to supplement it as well. They might just be able to get this kill. The extra slow coming out from the crush debuff could work wonders, and it's first blood in favor of No Chance. Tim's gets punished for overstepping his boundaries on this middle lane. Gambit, are you back in the game?
I'm trying to reconnect, but it kind of throws me out of the server every time. I'm gonna try and find the game and connect to it directly, because I'm trying to spectate you and it's not really working out.
Nah, you could try spectating one of the players as well. I'm sure you've got them on your friend list. Anyway, while he reconnects, let's keep our eyes on this Night Stalker. He's moving towards the bottom lane. Still a minute and a half before the first night time kicks in, but given that he was sitting on the middle lane, he's already crossed the level 2 mark. I don't think he's picked up a bounty rune just yet, so he has shared EXP with Cuckoo on that middle lane. We have a wraparound once again from this Night Stalker, Crowley. Couple of few hits, but he's got that Iron Branch to consume with his Tango, so he's fine again. So far, it's a minor net worth lead in favor of TNC. They seem to be doing well on this off lane with Nature's Prophet picking up 15 CS against 9 denies.
It looks like I'm back. Yeah. How are we looking?
Minor lead coming out for TNC, but first blood in favor of No Chance on that Shadow Shaman. Not much you can do in this bottom lane though versus Sam H.
Yeah, I mean, Sam H is doing really well in terms of last hit himself. Has he been NCing or is that just...
No, I don't think he's gone to the neutrals. He's just been lapping up lane farm.
Wow.
Well, I mean, looking at the net worth charts at least, that's what it indicates. Anyway, here we go. Shackles from the side. Looks like Sam H might just be picked off here. They have the Shackles to follow it up. Time lock, a necessary evil here for Blizzard. The body blocks are coming out from Ova as well. Sam H with no phase boots. One more hit. One more crush. Sam H is going to hit the dust. By the looks of it, it's going to be Ova that claims the kill. Immediately,
Shadow Shaman actually went for a Ether Shock level 2. He didn't pick up the Hex.
Yeah, that's actually the standard build for, at least that's what I've seen No Chance been doing off lane. Ether Shock is one of the more powerful nukes in the game for support. Meanwhile, Extract in trouble himself, gonna use the Surge to make a break for it. This is actually a decent game for the Darkseer. Now that I look at it, there's very few disables to lock him down with the Surge, but Tim's with the movement speed in the nighttime, giving chase over the trees, over the hills. He flies away, but No Chance enters the fray. He doesn't have mana for the Shackles. He's gonna get run down under the tower as well, but Tim's needs to be careful. That's a level 2 Ether Shock, as you pointed out earlier. And Tim's...
Yeah, bit of waste of time for No Chance there. He actually has to walk back all the way to the base, and then walk back again into lane. He doesn't have a TP.
Yeah, I think he miscalculated the mana cost for the TP.
Yeah, for sure. But Crowley's not doing too bad in the mid lane. Unfortunately, his early raindrop pickups will get nullified, and there's a Night Stalker stalking him. But he's doing fairly okay in terms of last hits here.
Yeah, he's also got a bit of a level advantage versus Cuckoo. He's most likely going to hit level 6 before Cuckoo gets to that mark, and that's a possible kill on him. In fact, he's already going to start beating up on him, knowing that Cuckoo doesn't have that illusory orb to get away from there. But Sam H is where I want to keep my eyes at, because the moment Crowley gets aggressive on the middle lane, I'm expecting Sam H and the Night Stalker to TP in and try and make something happen in exchange. But it would be a bold move for Crowley to make a solo play at mid. He's
yeah, exactly. That was my point. I don't think he wants to go on a buck of all people. He wants to keep pushing out the lane and farm the jungle, or maybe give the lane to a support eventually and farm the jungle, and then try and go into a side lane when people least expect it. It's probably the play for Crowley here.
That's right. He's looking alright in terms of CS for now. 19-2 versus the anti-mage, who's got himself a decent 32 up and running. Lots of regenerative items coming out with the Ring of Regen and the Ring of Health. He does definitely need all of this to deal with the Darkseer. In fact, he's even put in 2 points into the Spell Shield for that damage reduction. But you've got a smoke movement coming out. TNC gonna steal the bounty rune inside the Radiant jungle, while Ova and No Chance Just tailing them a little bit. TNC, they're going to take the long wraparound path towards the middle lane, thus dodging the over and no chance rotation. And with the dream call, with the rotation, they're going to get some kills here. But Crowley drops everything in his arsenal before turning around to fight. The TP didn't come through. His supports were supposed to join him in the fray, but they chose not to. Tim's trying to TP out, but will be unsuccessful. While bottom lane, they chose to go on Sam H instead, leaving Crowley for dead, where he gets a kill, while Sam H drops to over at the bottom lane. In the overall scheme of things, I think that actually works out for Signify.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the fact that Crowley didn't get the XP, I think it kind of did work out. Because that gives Extract some space, it gives the bottom lane some space, and they only lose Crowley for it.
Yeah, I mean, for all the CS that Sam H has been racking up on this off lane, he suffered 2 deaths, and that sets his net worth further behind the void. You could see a 3rd death coming out as well if he's not careful, but he's got his treants spread across this bottom lane, so he should see movements coming towards him. But that really doesn't stop Over from just running in at him with the sprint.
I honestly think they could have provided Crowley some cover as well in the mid lane, but they had to make a judgment call whether they want to prioritize the Sam H kill or the.
Well,
there's a rupture on the Night
Stalker.
Stalker.
He's gonna come in at the middle lane. You've got a blood drive thrown down onto the floor as well. Tim's gonna fly up onto the high ground, tries to deny himself to the Ancients, but is unsuccessful. Crowley finding the 2nd kill on the Night Stalker himself. I think that's one of the biggest advantages of the Bloodseeker, right? He's got a really low cooldown and a really powerful spell early on in the game. The Rupture. He's going to be back online in just half a minute again.
It's honestly very refreshing to see someone like Signify playing up against TNC and not get overwhelmed. I honestly kind of thought that that was a real possibility because they've been playing, I mean, their official matches all have been against teams that you would say are not at the same skill level as they are. And for a team like TNC who are much more established than they are, it's easy to get overwhelmed. But I'm happy to see that that's not happening.
He's gonna drop the Chronosphere at the bottom lane. No chance is coming in as well. He's got that Ether Shock at the ready, but he chooses to start with the Shackles. That seems like a bit of an error coming out from him as Cuckoo gets enough time to come into the fray, throws down the Illusory Orb, doesn't quite jaunt just yet, jaunts a little later and gets the kill on No Chance. The Dream Call now holding 2 in position. Signify, we talked about them not getting overwhelmed. Looks like that's about to change as at the bottom lane they get decimated, losing both the Slaughter and the No Chance Shadow Shaman. So both supports down, while the Chronosphere has been expended as well. In fact, this looks like it's going to transition into a push on this tier 1 tower.
It's a bit of a mistake to use a Chrono that deep into the tower. Especially with Crowley not making the rotation. He's the one who's going to be dealing a lot of damage. He has 3 points in Thirst as well, so...
Yeah,
bit of overzealous play from Signify there, trying to go for an extra kill on Sam H.
This is going to
I think they'll be
result
punished
in...
with a tower loss.
Yeah, TNC is going to get themselves a tier 1 tower early on, and that should give some gold back over to Sam H. In fact, the backup has come in here. They're going to drop a big blood right on the floor. Sam H sitting inside those trees, not going to get time locked, will TP out with a Rupture upon him as well, while Crowley with the Thirst unable to lock down a target. TNC, they may not have gotten the tower, but they've wasted a lot of time and effort from Signify's heroes, including their cores.
Where were the 2 supports though? I mean, they are the ones with all the lockdown. They should not be able to... People should not be able to TP out of a Rupture. Things shouldn't be that easy for TNC in this game.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where No Chance was. I mean, Ova's just taking up the top lane for now, catching up in terms of farm and EXP. He's got that Blink Dagger queued up, but it's going to be a while before he gets it.
Yeah, both TNC supports are doing pretty well in terms of levels, while Shadow Shaman and Slaughter have been a little starved. They had to make rotations which they didn't want to have made.
Sam H, he's picked up the quarterstaff, so I assume he's going to be going for that Orchid early on. The Lockdown versus the Void, definitely a necessary item here. Form that Orchid, but that tier 1's going to drop. Sam H is going to get the money for it, and that should even out his early game disadvantages. As you can see, the top 3 heroes on the net worth board are on the side of TNC, with the Anti-Mage, Nature's Prophet and Puck taking the lead.
I mean, Bloodseeker's on second, right? On net worth, right?
No, that's actually the Nature's Prophet on second.
My bad. I was on the last tier.
Signify, I mean, they're not farming as efficiently as they would like here. They're gonna pop a smoke and try and make something happen now, but... that observer... No, I don't think it spotted that smoke. Maybe it saw, like, the dust of the smoke, but... I don't think anyone was... It's unlikely that someone was looking over there, specifically.
They're trying to go for a play on the anti-mage, but they've been off the map for quite a while.
That's an anti-mage with 3 points in spell shield though, and yeah, like you said, his spidey senses have gone off. Raven's gonna get on out of there. Another wasted movement coming out from Signify. Raven creating space for Sam H to keep going through this bottom lane.
Chasing deep for him as well. If they don't respond to this aggression in the bot lane though, they're gonna lose another tower, and then there'll be no safe place for Blizzard to farm.
They have the Chronosphere available though, and there's a TP coming in from Extract. Here we go, Blizzard gonna get hit with the Void to start things off. The jump forward, the Chrono not being deployed, as 1437 is gonna run through the lane. I guess they're gonna leave one man behind. I mean, he can grave in TP if he needs to. They're gonna whip on the vacuum as well. The Symphony of Fails coming out from Signify. Now Owa's chasing in deep. The amp damage is already tagged 1437, but he's got the weave armor to help him out. The Chrono's been dropped and it catches too, with the Nature's Prophet being caught on the tail end of it as well. They can't quite give chase though. Owa gonna get blocked out by trees here. That's definitely not the kill that Signify were looking for with the Chronosphere.
Actually not that bad though, because No Chance and Crowley were still on top lane, which meant that the anti-mage was farming a little bit inefficiently in the jungle. But they did lose their tier 1 as well. Puck bringing that down there.
Yeah, meanwhile Raven, he's inching closer and closer towards that Battle Fury, and he's making decent timing towards it as well. He does have No Chance scouting him from the high ground, but while that was happening, looks like Over dropped on the bottom side. Raven gonna get tagged with an Aethershock, and then they're gonna drop down a Shackle. No Blood Rite available, but they'll commit with the Rupture. Raven should be able to get on out of here. No Chance without a point in that Hex, unable to lock him down and cancel that TP.
I don't know why Crowley waited on the Blood right there.
He didn't have it.
It
was on
cooldown.
He didn't have
it. Bit unfortunate. We use our spells for farming creeps and then we need it and it's not there.
Extract.
But yeah, there it is. The bot tier 2 is about to fall.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop this.
Put too much pressure on them.
Mid. Looks like Cuckoo's up to his shenanigans again with that Blink Dagger. He's harassing Blizzard a little bit, forcing him back towards his shrine. No Chance is
very
close to level 6 though, so maybe that's when Signify groups up, when the natural daytime kicks in. Tims has vision of this though. He sees Crowley running with that Observer Ward placed up on the cliff. He's gonna keep chasing him, while from the front side you've got a pincer trap coming in. Crowley got with his pants down, smacked on the bottom. No Chance.
Yeah,
uh-oh. Looks like Cuckoo knows what's up here. He's still giving chase. He sees No Chance now. They've got flying vision from Tims. That'll be a death of No Chance as well, so. Mass Serpent Ward's delayed further. TNC taking a 7,500 net worth lead this game and are gonna continue their onslaught, taking down a tier 1 tower, while Raven, he's almost got his Battle Fury complete as well.
it's been less than ideal for Signify, who wanted to play a little aggressive. They had the 2 roaming supports as well, but things really didn't work out for them. They only got some kills on Samage and...
Oh, the aggression hasn't stopped though. TNC are gonna find another one on Over at the middle lane.
Yeah.
So far so good for TNC.
I mean, it's really good for them. They have a 9k gold lead at 14 minutes and Signify are kind of crumbling under pressure. And Blizzard has literally no items and he's building a Shadow Blade, which means he's always going to be behind on farm.
Oh yeah. No Midas Daughter for Blizzard. He jumps into the trees. Tims, he doesn't have a Void available, so couldn't quite cancel that TP anyway. But we're seeing Signify group up now. Another minute till daytime kicks in. They have a smoke, they have a Chronosphere, and they do have the Rupture available as well. Perhaps it's time to try and find that anti-mage inside the jungle. This is the point when Raven starts to, his farm rate really starts to accelerate, right? He's picked up his Battle Fury, he's got the treads to swap to intelligence and blink around the camps. Not too many, it's gonna be a hard kill indeed. He's even got those 3 points in the spell shield as we pointed out earlier, so that ion shell damage not going to be as significant inside a Chronosphere. We're coming back full circle to the discussion we had in the draft though. How do you deal with this anti-mage inside of a Chronosphere? He's going to have the agility for the armor from that mana style as well next.
I guess the tool for dealing with the anti-mage was with the last pick Bloodseeker, but he didn't get off those early ganks which he needed to, and the one they did get off didn't really work out too well for them. So I don't know if they're feeling confident enough to go into the jungle, because there is a chance of getting counter initiated by someone like Puck. I mean, if they want to get a kill on the anti-mage, they'll probably need to bust a Chrono and a Rupture. So
yeah, and I'm still not convinced that's enough to kill him though.
It may be, but then they'll have nothing to fight the rest of the team when Puck comes in and Nature's Prophet comes in with a Zog kit and stuff like that.
Speaking of Puck, it's gonna go in with the Wrath of Nature connecting onto No Chance on the bottom lane. A very sneaky gank. A successful one coming out between Cuckoo and Sam H.
Yeah, they need to back off from the top lane as well. You can't keep pushing it. Blizzard needs to be really careful here.
Is it? In trouble. You've got Tim's coming in from behind. It's still nighttime under cover of the darkness. They do have a point in the Crippling Fear as well. There's the Time Walk coming out from Blizzard. A surge to keep him alive and running as well. Tim's not content with this. He wants to go forward, but he's being punished now. They've got the Crush. They have a Chrono if they want to commit it. But Blizzard, he doesn't want to blow it on just Tim's, especially when 1437 is in the vicinity. They need to connect with a Time Lock, perhaps into a Crush. That's exactly what they're going to get. While 1437 gets zoned out when he comes in to attempt a grave. Now he's getting chased down by Ova as well. The Amp as well as the Crush and the Ion Shell doing some work. Signify actually find 2 kills for the price of none and are now angling towards Cuckoo at the middle lane. He's used the phase shift. He's going to walk into No Chance. He's going to blink away immediately. Close shave there for Cuckoo.
I was very scared for Signify there. Nature's Prophet could have TP'd in any time and silenced one of the cores and gotten a kill, but he chose to stay on the bot lane and push out the lane. So
yeah, a bit uncharacteristic there from TNC, diving in like that with Tim's in 1437. Perhaps you're right, they were possibly expecting the Nature's Prophet to join them, but Sam H took a judgment call not to join them there.
Yeah, also Cuckoo broke the smoke in the mid lane and then TP'd and then blinked out, so Crowley and No Chance had some ideas which were thwarted by the Puck here.
Alright, let's have a look at the Bloodseeker. He's getting himself a Sanj and Yasha here with the Yasha coming out first. No Chance did cross the level 6 mark, so the Mass Serpent Wards are available if Signify wants to try and take a building. Cuckoo meanwhile with the Yules and the Blink going towards Ova. They have a Wrath of Nature coming out, the Dream Call as well as the Silence from the Waning Rift, and a couple of auto attacks after an Illusory Orb will find himself a kill.
The entire team is farming and it's just been the Puck who's gone for solo kills with the help of the Wrath of Nature. And there's literally no answer to that. You're silenced, you're hit by so much magic damage, and already they're playing from behind and it's looking really hard to Signify in game 1.
Yeah, I mean things could change the moment Slaughter picks up his Blink Dagger, but TNC are doing a really good job of delaying the dagger for as long as they possibly can. Ova's average timing on the Blink, at least you know, from what I've seen, is close to the 20-minute mark, so he's still on track to get it on that 4 position Slaughter.
They could look to take some fights as well, and because Blizzard has a Shadow Blade, he is deeping in and he's used to Shadow Blade.
There was a tree in there, but I don't think it saw him. Sam H is out already because I believe he saw the secondary TP coming in as well. So lots of intelligent wards coming out from TNC, watching spots where the Nature's Prophet could potentially be ganked, or rather it could be the other way around. Sam H is just playing around the wards that have been placed down.
Yeah, now they know that there's a Shadow Blade on Blizzard, so the chances of them getting caught out by that is next to none.
Alright, darkness kicks in about 40 seconds before the natural night comes through as well.
I think we're going to reach a point where the anti-mage has the net worth of both the Bloodseeker and the Faceless Void combined. Both of them have no real farming items. Bloodseeker went for a Yasha, but he's still Bloodseeker with single creeps. Void is just this
heavy commitment though on Cuckoo's Puck here. I think it's totally worth it. That's a dominating streak taken away. It was Extract that got the money for it, but it was a Chronosphere put to decent use. Not to mention the Shadow Blade
take as many kills as they can, and then see they're gonna get outfarmed anyway now. With the type of items they have and the type of items Anti-Mage has, there's no way they can compete with farm anymore. So they just need to look for good fights and pick-offs and delay the high ground as much as they can. The
problem with that pick-off though is you've essentially shaved about 30 seconds off of the natural nighttime, but you don't have a Chronosphere available for much longer. But I'm going to hold that thought because Crowley's going to get taken apart at the middle lane, limb from limb, with Tim's taking the money for that one. But yeah, as I was saying, you shaved off about 30 seconds from the nighttime, but your Chronosphere is on cooldown for a good 70. TNC, they're going to do the most obvious thing here. They're going to take an objective, which is Roshan, immediately after. And there's absolutely nothing that Signify can do about this, save expecting a massive vacuum wall from Extract.
I don't think they don't have a chrono as well, so there's no real point going to this fight. But looks like they have smoked up. They have some ideas themselves, but will they reach before this happens?
Oh wow. Blinks in, gets silenced immediately by Sam H's Orchid. We've got Blizzard going in, doesn't quite steal the Aegis. It's Raven that takes the Aegis and takes away Blizzard's mana along with him. X-Rag comes in, drops the wall, drops the vacuum, gets a couple of illusions created, but it's not doing nearly as much as they would like. Over with the control as the rest of his team makes a hasty retreat. It looks like Signify are gonna walk away with no casualties, but no Aegis claimed either. Tim's using that mobility to get away from Blizzard and no chance there.
And that was a really quick silence coming out from
James is in trouble though. He's been caught, but he has the Solar Crest evasion that's going to help him stay alive long enough for 1437 to enter the fray as well. And this means that Blizzard have no chance. They're actually going to get up onto the high ground and start fighting once again. The Serpent Words were dropped. They managed to get down the shackles on him as well. They should lose Tim's here, and they're going to go for the next one as well. 1437 going to go down with the vacuum pulling him closer to his ally, aka the Night Stalker. Both of them hit the deck, and the Aegis is lost as well. Now Raven forced to blink up towards the north side. They've got the Chronosphere available on Blizzard, but the rat is real. Cuckoo takes a tier 3 on the bottom lane while all of this is happening, and even starts to do some chip damage on the melee barracks. He also knows that there's no TPs because everyone TP'd up to the shrine there to try and fight. So he's just fine walking out of here.
I think TNC are just playing it very, very lightly because there's no real reason to take fights without a puck. And they know they're at a very, very high advantageous position, and there's nothing really that Signify can do that can
We've
really
seen
upset
this
them.
movie before, but looks like the sequel has a different ending. Cuckoo blinking away, not getting caught by that Chronosphere with the Void under cover of the Shadow Blade.
Oh no, I guess you use the next Chronosphere to try and get a kill on Anti.
With that tier 3 down, the shrines are exposed, and Raven gonna go to work on them already, but at the middle lane they've jumped in and brought down 1437. It's a decent
For some reason, X-Rag
gold.
gets to get all the kills here.
It's the Iron Shell shenanigans.
Yeah.
TNC though, pushing in 2 lanes. The top tier 2 is gonna go down while Cuckoo on this bottom lane. He's gonna get initiated upon. What was he doing? He was just waiting it out there. Has the yields to send him up into the air. Will get hit with a wall as well. There's an Iron Shell next to him, but he blinks, jaunts up onto the high ground. The Thirst Vision is there, but they're just body blocking each other. Owa jumps in and gets the kill with a crush anyway, while the rest of Signify defend their top tier 2 as well.
Yeah, good prediction there from Owa.
Raven, he could be in trouble. This, he blinks out of there. Close shave.
I don't think it would have been a kill either way because Blizzard doesn't have the damage to kill people in the Chronosphere. He needs someone like Crowley to come in with a Blood Ride.
I think maybe Mass Serpent Wards with the Chronosphere could have
That's a very, very heavy commitment. There's nothing to defend high ground when Puck comes back then. No Mass Serpent Wards and no Chronosphere. It's not the position they want to be in. But they have managed to turn things back around a little bit. I mean, they arrested the fall. It's still at 14k the goal lead, but
Tim's he was thinking of being aggressive here, but instead he's gonna get jumped upon. Can't quite fly over the trees. What are you doing, Blizzard? The nighttime disadvantage with the vision working against him. Now Crush will cancel the TP. The shackles will hold him in position, and Night Stalker will be taken apart and limb from limb, and his wings are going to be clipped as well. But he's just buying time because at the bottom lane, Bloodseeker is fending off a push by himself. With Sam H walking in. He's even got himself a Shadow Blade now.
I mean, I keep looking at this anti-mage and he just has a new item every time I look at him. Yeah, I think he has more farm than both of them put together. Yeah, he does.
He's at 17,000 net worth. It's more than double the net worth of the Darkseer, who's leading the charts for Signify.
I think even if Signify, I don't know, man. Like once he gets his Ags, it's gonna be really, really difficult to get a kill on him. I need the Rupture.
Theoretically, they do have the firepower to bring down the anti-mage with an amp damage and a blood rage, but yeah, like you said, once he's got the Aghanims, it's significantly harder to lock him down, to tag him with an amp, to tag him with a Rupture as well.
I mean, props to Signify for getting kills.
Oh, what? He Chronosphered his ally, but Cuckoo did get caught on the periphery of it. But 1437 was alive through it all. The Vac, the wall, pulls back 3. Looks like Cuckoo might just end up losing his life, but the Anti-Mage has a bone to pick. Throws down the Mana Boy, gets himself to. Both Blizzard and X-Drag are out, and it looks like Crowley's gonna follow them to the grave as well. Those Mass Serpent Words being nothing but a bit of a nuisance as Sam H will tank it up. An ultra kill for Raven, with Owa being chased away towards the north side. Tim's trying to follow him up towards that towards the top lane as well, but they're just gonna ignore him for now. Maybe not actually. Sam H wants this. He hasn't got a lockdown though. Owa will be able to TP back.
Yeah, Crowley was in for a real surprise in that fight. He just self-ruptured himself, and then he tried to run away, and it was not the best initiation from him. I don't think they spotted out that Aghanim Scepter on the Anti-Mage.
Alright, this should be the lane of Barracks going in favor of TNC. There's no Chronosphere available. Owa again silenced before he can get the crush off. Well, no chance. Not really able to do anything here either. The vacuum is there. Pulls back 3, but where's the follow-up? There's no Bloodseeker available just yet. He's actually respawned now. A massive chaotic team fight breaks out inside the Radiant base. The Bloodright, the Rupture, Samage immediately attempting a TP out. The Crush will cancel it though. He catches 2. Raven has suffered his first death of this game, and Samage will die once as well. While the Drax will fall on this bottom lane, it does seem like Signify have managed to stem the bleeding a little bit by taking down 2 out of 3 of TNC's cores.
Yeah, but I mean, sure they got the Anti-Mage, but I don't think it's enough at this point because I mean Blizzard really again no real farm on him. Not sure how they kill people when they split push, and they still have 2 lanes of Raxes to hold, so I don't think this is going to be possible.
I mean, I wouldn't count them out just yet. There's always the potency of there's always the potential of a late game Chronosphere that throws a wrench into TNC's plans. But yeah, they're going to have to deal with the constant split push and pressure coming out from TNC. Maybe they're going to make it work though. They're going to go in with the Crush, and now they're going to drop the Serpent Wands as well. No chance, doesn't have the mana for anything else. Oh my god, that's the moment when you stand up and smack him on the head if you're his ally. Cuckoo though, looking for a return kill of his own. Crowley going in the wrong direction with the Bloodright. Well, Cuckoo continues to apply pressure again, dodging a Crush from Owa. The space this man is creating is unreal. How did he not count his mana, man?
They have no real way to deal with the split push even. With the Nature's Prophet and the Anti-Mage pushing heavily, I honestly think TNC have played it very, very lightly. At any moment the Anti-Mage could have gone for an Abyssal and finished the game, but he went for all the fun items. He's going for Linkins and an Axe, so playing it very, very carefully.
Yep.
He doesn't need to, I feel. Could have gone for the Basho and finished it.
Crowley's gonna get control over the use, but they're not gonna commit. They're just gonna pop a smoke and wait it out here. We're hoping that someone walks in. It's gonna be Owa that walks in. He actually blinks out towards the south side as well. And makes a break for it. That's one way to dispel smokes. They even blew the dream call for him there. Chronosphere though, catching 2 this time around. X-Drag throws down a wall inside of it as well, and the Bloodright is there to follow it up. The Crush, the Vac, the wall, the amp, but Raven survives through it all with Cuckoo coming in with the silence. The Grave keeping him alive still. Blizzard with no mana to work with ends up dropping. No chance lost to Sam H as well, but behind they end up getting the return kill on Sam H while it's a massacre on the front lines with Crowley losing his life. X-Drag turns tail, blinks out and runs on out of there. And TNC has their eyes on the prize. In fact, they're going to go in further here. Looking for the pick off on X-Drag. He's got no surge available and he's going to run out of mana soon as well. Raven will ensure that he shatters to dust.
I think that's all she wrote for Signify here. It's pretty much over. There's no Chronosphere to defend this either. Faceless Void is just a...
There's the jump in though. X-Drag going in, whiffs of the vacuum. They whiff on the Crush to follow it up as well. No chance, almost out of mana. Pops the Shrine, turns with the Hex, doesn't have the Shackle though. Just hits him with an Ether Shock. Anti-Mage, 7 seconds till he can blink. Once again, the Crush is going to hold him down and they'll get the kill. You spoke too soon, Gambit. They get the kill on the Anti-Mage. They don't lose another tier 3, let alone a Rax. The time lock cancels 1437's TP out as well, while the rest of TNC will make a run for it.
I think that was a misplay from...
You've jinxed it thrice now. You've said it's over 3 times and every time Signify has just bounced back. Keep saying it, man.
I honestly think that was a mistake from 1437. He had one charges to make the grave happen on anti-mage. He didn't have mana otherwise, but he could have popped the wand and saved him, but he didn't, and then he used it on himself. So bringing out channeling his inner art style there.
Tim's pulled in as well. They're probably not going to buy back for this. An Atos being thrown down by Kuku. Well, actually, that was an Atos by Samage. No, what? Who the hell had an Atos?
I think it's the Night Stalker. Should be the Night Stalker, yeah.
Oh yeah, Night Stalker's got an Atos. My bad. Mid. Streets just channeling their inner Admiral Bulldog. Yeah, that tier 3 is actually deniable now. Don't think you want to deny it though.
21,000 net worth for the anti-mage. Void is sitting at 8. Bloodseeker is at 9. Bloodseeker is almost at 10. Dux is also at 10. So he's basically equal to 2 cores at this point. And he's still looking for the Lincoln Sphere. And if I was him,
I actually think that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense in terms of being defensive, but he has a dazzle behind him who can save him. He even has a Night Stalker with a Solar Crest behind him. I think it's time to be a little ballsy and just go for the abyss.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think, yeah, I agree that they don't have enough control, but they're kind of compensating for it with items like the Atos and...
Oh, that's a gem as well.
Cuckoo. Taken apart in middle lane. A Rupture was committed, but not a Chronosphere. It's a 20k gold deficit up against Signify. They're getting ratted, but Sam H is going to get punished for ratting this. The Ion Shell scoring 1 for Extract, while this army of Treants just comes through the middle lane and are going to probably take barracks. Never mind. A bunch of them timed out. Inside the pit as well, Crowley, look at this. He's sitting with the Invis Rune. They know that they don't have a gem. They're going to go in. The Blood Rite is there. Night Stalker caught out as well. 3 down on the side of TNC, and it looks like Signify could get Rosh. In fact, it's going to be 4 because they've got the Dazzle coming in for the defensive wave. Tim's is going to drop as well. It's a damn near team wipe with just Raven surviving. Signify going for Rosh.
Yeah, there should be a Rosh for them. I'm not sure how this happened. There was a big throw coming out from TNC in the last couple of minutes. The Puck dying, then the Night Stalker, then the Dazzle, and even the Nature's Prophet getting caught out in the bot lane. Not even sure why he was pushing out bot lane. It just pushed itself on its own. There's no real wave clear from
I mean, he
Signify
just
anyway.
snuck in through the bottom lane. I think he was trying to take down the barracks, which were on really low HP. Given that there's no fortification now, obviously he wasn't trying to push the bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Raven is telling his teammates, guys, what are we doing?
Well, they still have a Chronosphere now, and it's a Mantis Cell that's almost complete on Blizzard as well. So Signify are finding themselves in a decent spot now.
Yeah, but there's a butterfly on the anti-mage.
Alright, looks like he abandoned that Lincoln Sphere dream and went for the butterfly and said, look at this, Crowley. We see Sam H and Ova's in the vicinity as well. They have no blink, but they have a gem, so they can keep this chase going if they really wanted to. Sam H's spidey senses tingle, and Raven blinks in to offer some support as well. Cuckoo. In the trees here by himself, but he's got boots of travel. Anti-mage though, laying his eyes upon Crowley. They don't really have detection though. I mean, they've got sentries available. The dust gets popped, but Crowley doesn't get tagged, and Signify will back off while Extract continues to push and farm the bottom side.
No, I'll be really honest. I actually think that Signify, I mean, sure they're up against TNC. I honestly never fancied them to win the game anyway, but they've been pretty impressive, and I think if they hold their heads high and they work towards it, they can actually get into the playoffs, provided that there is one. Because the way they've played shows that they have what it takes in them. I mean, TNC is definitely the best team in the qualifier, and going up against them in the first
match. Man. That's a bold statement to make when you've got a power pack squad like Fnatic as well. Mineski is here with Mushi as well. So I think these SEA qualifiers are really...
I think 4 teams get a go.
Let's hold that thought though. Blizzard pops a Chronosphere and catches 2. He's been hit with the Orchid, or rather the Bloodthorn inside of it. There's no damage in the Chronosphere to follow it up. Remember though, he has the Aegis, so he's okay, sacrificing 1 life. They're fighting under the wall. The Anti-Mage Illusions will rip Tim's a new one. While the Silence connects, the Rupture's there as well. Onto the Anti-Mage. He's getting taken apart bit by bit, but he's just standing his ground and fighting his way through. Blizzard, tagged with the Silences, gets control and gets brought down, but no chance enters the party as well. A Blood Rite thrown up on the floor. TNC Raven is just proving too much for them to handle at this point. He's got that mana void at the ready, jumps forward, hits X-Rag with it, but doesn't quite finish the job. They're still chasing. They'll finally bring him down while behind. Crowley will end up losing his life as well. The buyback comes out from the Slaughter while the middle lane of Barracks is being taken down by Cuckoo. X-Rag, or rather Ova, will come in to try and make something happen upon him, but Cuckoo's just gonna make a run for it. The Yules is there to keep him up, but Anti may just come to finish what his allies started. X thrown down there. The Aftershock is there as well. Looks like the melee barracks are indeed gonna drop. Can Signify defend their final lane of barracks is the question here. Raven answers that with an emphatic no as he jumps onto the top lane and starts ripping apart that tier 3. This could be the end of the game here for Signify, but they're gonna try and mount one last defense, instead going in on Dazzle. Even the Dazzle kill is gonna be an impossibility at this point, or rather a difficult one. Space was created and Mega Creeps have been acquired. Looks like no chance is gonna drop his life, and Ova will lose his life next as well. The GG comes out and TNC will take the win, but not a very easy one.
Okay, looks like, I mean, it's kind of as we predicted that TNC were the far better team. But if you look at the kill score, if you look at the way Signify played, there is a lot, there's a lot of hope coming in from them that they can do some good in this qualifier. I think they actually have the potential to be top 4 and make it through the playoffs.
Yeah, they played some impressive Dota here. I've got to say it's a lot better than what we've seen any of the Indian teams do of late. So impressive stuff from Signify. It'll be TNC that walks away with the win here. Unfortunately, guys, we don't have too much information about what the format is like, but you know, let's see if we can find out what game is next. We'll try and keep the stream going through the day, covering as many games as possible, jumping into Signify games as and when we can. But a big warm welcome to everyone that's tuned in, and a big thank you as well for joining us this Monday morning. If you've enjoyed the stream, of course, do hit the follow button on twitch.tv/AFKGaming Esports, and you can type !casters in our chat to know who we are and where you can find us. I'm the Real Cloud X. You can find me at the Real Cloud X on Facebook and Twitter, and you can find Shaunok aka Gambit at Shaunok88. I can't be bothered to spell that out for you non-native speakers, so please just type casters and find our links. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you in just a bit.